In today's video we are going to talk about what exactly the anticyclones are, where exactly they are likely to be found, and how many types of anticyclones are there and their characteristics. So first you will see exactly what exactly an anticyclone is. Anticyclone basically is a high pressure system. It's a high pressure system uh, and the wind actually generally in the anticyclone moves from the center towards the periphery, because as you may be knowing that wind always move from high pressure to low pressure. So these are the high pressure system. Now we will see exactly where they are likely to be found. Basically there are two types of anticyclone. One type of anticyclone is known as warm core anticyclones, warm core anticyclone, and another type of anticyclone is cold core anticyclone. So basically this cold, whether the anticyclone is warm core or the cold core, that will actually decide where they are likely to be found. Because if you see where exactly the warm core cyclones are likely to be found, then you will find that this is, you have a tropopause, this is the equatorial low pressure belt, equatorial low pressure, then you have here you have a subtropical high pressure belt, then here you have a subpolar low pressure belt, and this is you have a polar high pressure. So the air generally, you may have studied these things, that air keep on rising all along the equator, and once it rises, then it will collide with the tropopause and it will get bifurcated into two parts. The one part will move towards the northern pole, other part will move towards the southern pole, and by the time these winds reaches to the subtropical high pressure belt, they start subsiding. So whenever this air subsides, it creates high pressure on the ground. So you will find that all the warm core cyclones are found, anticyclones are found in the subtropical high pressure belt. This is the place where exactly this warm core anticyclones are likely to be found. Why actually these are warm core? Because air is subsiding. So whenever air actually subside, then it get heated adiabatically. So when it get heated adiabatically, that's why its core is going to be warm here. So that's why warm core anticyclones are found in the at the subtropical high pressure belt, whereas the cold core anticyclones are found in the polar high, because here actually this air is not getting heated adiabatically. It is actually because of the low temperature, it is subsiding here, and it is getting colder and denser. So that's why when air will subside, definitely it is going to create high pressure on the ground, but its core is going to be cold, because it is here the temperature is very less. That's why here you are like these cold cores anticyclones are found at the polar high. So this is how exactly they are distributed over the globe. Then we will talk about actually how this circulation, what kind of circulation is there in the anticyclones, and whether this circulation will be anticyclonic, or whether this circulation will be anti-clockwise or clockwise. That can be easily understood. For example, if you see this in northern hemisphere, then in northern hemisphere generally you may have studied that whenever the wind moves in northern hemisphere, then it, because of the Coriolis force, it take a turn towards its right. So if we talk about suppose northern hemisphere, then if this suppose this is you have anticyclone high pressure, then wind will start moving away from this high pressure center, and the moment it will move, it will take the turn towards its right. It will turn towards its right. So that's why in the northern hemisphere the circulation of the wind in the wind direction in the anticyclone will be clockwise. In the southern hemisphere things is going to be completely opposite. So that's how you can easily make it out exactly whether the wind circulation will be anti-clockwise or clockwise. Then we will talk about the characteristics, because if we compare with the tropical cyclones with the anticyclone, then you have a different characteristics in case of anticyclones. So we will talk about the characteristics. First characteristics, that their size is very big, because contrary to the cyclone whose size is very small, so their size is very big. Because why it is big? Because it is you have already seen, like these are found at the subtropical high pressure belt, where the air gradually subsides. That's why their size becomes very huge. Then the another characteristics of the anticyclone is the pressure gradient is very gentle, because air is subsiding and gradually it moves outward. So that's why pressure gradient is very gentle in cyclones. We have already talked about clockwise or anti-clockwise circulation. So whether this will be this circulation will be anti-clockwise or clockwise, it will depend upon in which hemisphere the anticyclone has got developed. The another characteristic of the anticyclone is a stable condition. Stable condition means that the air is subsiding. Generally we will talk about these things later on, what is stability and instability, but I will give you some idea. Stable condition means the air has a tendency to sink. Air has a tendency to sink. So this is called as stable condition. If air has a tendency to move up, then this type of condition is known as unstable condition. So this in anticyclone you will find that the atmosphere remain in a stable condition. Clear sky and light winds. This sky is clear because if the cloud has to be formed, then definitely the air has to get uplifted. Wherever the air will subside, there is no way that the cloud formation can take place, because if you know exactly how the clouds are formed, then you can easily understand that wherever the air is subsiding, then it will get heated adiabatically also. So whatever little bit of water vapor is there, that is also going to get evaporated. If the cloud has to be formed, then air has to first rise. When air will rise, then it will get expanded. And that's how its relative humidity will increase because of adiabatic cooling, and the cloud will be formed. So if the cloud has to be formed, then the air has to rise. If the air is subsiding, there is no way that the cloud can be formed. So that's why you have there will be no cloud, no rainfall in an anticyclonic condition, no cloud and precipitation. These anticyclones are stable or very slow moving or almost stable, because you may have seen in case of tropical cyclone, temperate cyclones, both type of cyclone keep on moving from one place to another place. The temperate cyclone keep on moving from west towards the east, whereas the tropical cyclone move from the west to east. So east to west, and temperate cyclone move from west to east. But these anticyclones remain stable or very slow moving. So these are the characteristics of the anticyclones.